Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this mega mansion. So if you'd like to go ahead and download it for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1. So, as you can see, well, you can't actually see yet, but maybe from the thumbnail, this place is absolutely ginormous. It has 3 floors, 17 bathrooms, and 26 bedrooms, which is pretty crazy. It might be 25 bedrooms, but still, it's a lot. I've got it like written in the description of the gallery because you can only select up to 9 bedrooms and bathrooms on those drop-down menus to tell people how many bedrooms and bathrooms there are on that lot. But it only goes up to 9, so I've just written it in the description as well, so you can see the full amount. And yeah, so this took me probably about like 2 hours to do, which is like no time at all. If you don't know, I do these mansion builds every Sunday, so I feel like it's just, I've been doing it so much, it's just practice and it's allowed me to do it more quicker, and it's just, you know, over time I've just gotten quicker at them. So the footage is like even less than 2 hours, but I did it a little bit off screen because if you don't know, what I normally do is with these type of speed builds is that I don't really want the video to drag on for so long because a lot of it is just repetitive processes. So what did I do again? Well, it was the bathrooms is one of them. So I do all of those off screen because I do them literally exactly the same. As I mentioned earlier, there's 17 bathrooms in this place. So doing, you know, putting the footage in for 17 bathrooms just get a little bit boring. And plus, trying to do 17 different 17 different bathrooms in this whole big place is going to be kind of time consuming and a little bit hard to think of. So basically what I do is when I go in to do the wall coverings, I just put the same wall covering and flooring down for all of the bathrooms, which I don't know if it's such a good thing. You know, sometimes if I just do a general, you know, bathroom room build, then maybe I'll try to go out the box a little bit, but for these type of bathrooms, there are just a lot of small ones, and it's just kind of like hard to do something a little bit different for each one. So yeah, I just do that to kind of save time a little bit, and it's not really an exciting room. It is an important room, I mean, but there's 17 of them, so it's not that important. And yeah, so the other things that I do off screen is, like I mentioned, wall coverings and flooring, but I do that for all of the rooms because when we go in to furnish all of those rooms, you're going to see the wall coverings and floorings anyway. So, you know, there's no point of me showing that because sometimes I can be a little bit indecisive of what I'm going to do, so I feel like it's just a good time to do that off screen just to kind of, you know, save time. And the other thing I do off screen as well is, oh my god, I've probably like no speed build left. The other thing I do is all of kind of like the terrain paints. So what I do at the beginning is, before I start the landscaping, is that I kind of map out what I'm going to do with like the dirt terrain paint, and I kind of just put that on the ground where I want the plants to be, and I do that off screen as well, just so I can kind of plan out what I'm going to do. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I do off screen, which is kind of a lot, but it just makes the video a little bit more bearable to watch because, you know, if I didn't do that, then it'll be over like 45 minutes or something, and me talking for that long is not going to be very fun. So yeah, that's why I do that. So I wasn't actually too sure about this home, to be honest. Like, I mean, at this point, I mean, by the end of it, I'm really happy with it, but at this point, I was still a little bit unsure because at this point here, it kind of just looked like a lot of windows, and that was pretty much all it looked like, and it didn't really have that much dimension to it, even though it has, you know, lots and lots of pop-outs, but a lot of them are just like pop-outs of one tile, which is, you know, normal, but for this it kind of just didn't really look that right. And yeah, so I don't know if you can hear outside, but there's some kids going up and down the street on their scooters and bikes and whatever, and it's making a lot of noise, so hopefully you can't hear that. I'm sorry if you can. Anyway, so I'm just working on the landscaping here, as you can see. Now, all of those low-lying yellow flower plants, I think they're called, I do that off screen as well because I always, well, most of the time, I use that as a base for my landscaping. So I put that on first, and then I go over it with lots of different colourful plants and stuff. So I do all the green bits off, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. I do that off screen because it kind of just, it's just very repetitive. So I do that off screen, and then I show you what kind of flowers I'm putting in and stuff. As you can see, we've also got some cars in because it kind of just looked right for this, because I wanted to put a little garage area in on that bit that comes out at the front. Okay, so I just shut my window. You probably could hear that. I just listened back to the recording there for just a quick second, and I could hear the background noise, so I've just shut my window. Anyway, so yeah, I did that with the garage, and I was actually going to go ahead and put down some of those roofs, which I normally do, on the ground, to kind of make a ramp going up to the garage area. I kind of partially forgot to do that, I suppose, but the other reason I didn't do it as well is because, it's always what I normally do is that I convert the garage area into a bedroom or something, which I did in this home here. So I didn't really think it was necessary to have that. I kind of just wanted the look to be like a garage door, and because of those little windows that I put in. So right now we're working on this huge big kitchen, which is actually the kitchen, dining room and living room, all in one huge big room. And I wasn't actually too sure about this kitchen, to be honest. It's very kind of plain and huge. I think it was a little bit too big, to be honest, if I'm just being honest. And I mean, it still looks alright. I tried to do my best, but it just turned out to be a little bit too big than what I was planning on doing it. But you know what? It's fine. They always turn out okay in the end, at least. And I'm not only just happy with it. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It's just maybe a little bit too big, what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I was going to mention, well, what I actually did was, I've already done this voiceover. I did it yesterday before I'd finished the build. Because what I like to do is sometimes, if I have a chance when I'm home alone, I do like to do the voiceovers then, because I feel like if people are home, then they're kind of listening in, and it kind of puts us off a little bit. So if I can, I do like to wait until, people are out of the house to do the voiceover. So I had a chance to do it, and because it was yesterday, the 24th, this is going up on the 25th, which I'm recording this voiceover on. So I did the first voiceover yesterday on the 24th, and I did it then just because, I didn't know if I'd have a chance to do it today, but I actually have a chance now where everybody's out the house. So I'm taking this opportunity to redo the voiceover, which, you know what, I could have just stuck with the original one. But the thing is, in that voiceover, I had nothing to talk about the build because I hadn't finished it. So I was just recording the voiceover on my sound recorder, not like what I'm doing now by watching the playback screen as well, so I can see what's going on. So I just, decided to do it again because, it's always sometimes better the second time round as well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So as you can see, working on the living room area here, which is actually pretty small compared to the kitchen and dining room, which it's next to. But I do also have some other living rooms around the home as well, because what actually happens is, with the top floors, I don't normally do 3 floors. That's the reason it's called a mega mansion, is because it has 3 floors. But I normally do 2 floors, and normally on the second floor is just full of bedrooms. And I always kind of struggle to think of other types of rooms I can do in these mansions other than bedrooms and bathrooms. So if you have any ideas, then let me know, because normally I'll do a study and I'll do, a little book room or something like that with like some bookshelves and stuff in. But if you have any more ideas of what I could do, because all of the second and third floor are full of bedrooms and bathrooms, apart from one other living room up there on the 3rd floor. So, it's kind of like a little bit excessive because there's 25 bedrooms, which is kind of like totally pointless. But I do that as well because it is such a grand mansion and I kind of want it to be a little bit over the top. And yeah, so if you have any ideas of other types of room types I could do, that'd be really, really helpful. So, other things I was going to mention other than the builds, I know people have been kind of wondering about what's happening with my car, because if you don't know, I did actually pass my driving test back on the 8th of March, and we have been looking for some cars. Yesterday we actually went to a Vauxhall garage. If you don't have that in your country, it's also known as Opel, this car manufacturer, and I also found that in the US it's called Buick Regal. Anyway, so we went to one of those dealerships yesterday to kind of look at some used cars, because, it is my first car after all, so I'm not going to be able to afford a brand new car. So we did look at some yesterday. We've been looking at the Vauxhall Corsa, and I actually really, really like it. I've been looking online at used cars of that particular model for quite some time now, but I just wanted to kind of go and look it up in person to see what I actually thought of it, because I actually haven't been in a Vauxhall Corsa before, and kind of just judging it from online photos of used cars isn't always the best thing to do, so I wanted to go ahead and look at some. But at this particular dealership, they didn't really have anything in that I was looking for in terms of the used cars. But I've found like one online on their kind of like network of used cars. That's a little bit further away from me though. Not that far away, but it is still, a good like 20 to 30 minute drive, I would say. So we're gonna go ahead and look at that next weekend because I didn't have a chance to yesterday. But the thing is, I'm kind of a little bit worried now because this particular car that's been advertised on their network website thing is been there for I wouldn't say a few weeks, maybe like a week and a few days. So I'm kind of getting worried because it's such a good deal on this particular model for the trim level that it is for the price. So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit worried by the time I go there next week. I'm thinking that it might have been sold by then. So I'm kind of getting a little bit worried because it is the best deal that I've seen so far out of all the months that I've been looking for a used car. So yeah, I'm really kind of getting a little bit worried. But you know what? If it isn't, there'll be always something that good that comes along. I've always found good deals in the past, and then I'm like, oh no, it's going to go. And then I look back and like, oh, it's gone. But there's always something else that comes up that is either as good or better. So you know, I'm not going to worry too much if it goes, but if it doesn't, that'll be great, so I can get it. So it's a 2016 Model 1, and it's kind of like a light grey colour. So I'll probably post a picture of it on Twitter if I actually buy it. But yeah, I'm really excited. So right now we're just working on this room right here, which is the kind of converted garage room, which I turned into a bedroom and bathroom. And as you can see, it's a pretty big room. So what I actually went ahead and did was I went ahead and put like a little living room area in, as you can see, with a few seats there. It's not really a full living room, like for people to gather in, but it's just another little seating area, I suppose, because it would just end up being a blank area. So I might as well put that in. And we're actually onto the second floor now. So what I actually did off screen as well is that I actually did a few bedrooms off screen. There are a few shaped rooms here which are a little bit awkward, especially where I did those kind of octagonal or whatever they are rooms that are kind of in the middle of the house on the back and front. So for those particular rooms, which are a little bit of an odd shape, some of them were a bedroom. Sorry, I just dropped something. Some of those are bedrooms. So I did those off screen because they were kind of a little bit of odd shape to kind of work out what I was going to do with them. So I did do those off screen to kind of save some time, because it was kind of just a lot of me going back and forwards trying to figure out what I was going to do with those rooms, because they are a pretty awkward shape to kind of fit beds in and stuff like that. So there was something else. Oh yeah, that was it. So with college, everything is kind of getting pretty stressful at the minute, because I do actually have my exams coming up. It's only March, well, end of March, but I do have them coming up on, I think it's between the 4th and the 18th of June. I'm actually going to check because I have my timetable just above me. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me very well just while I'm trying to grab this. Okay, so my first one is on the 4th of June, and my last one is on the 18th of June. I actually have 6 exams, so there's one on the 4th, 7th, 8th, 11th, 14th and 18th. But the thing is that but this is actually just my provisional kind of timetable, so it's not set in stone yet. They kind of just gave us this to kind of give us an idea to plan, you know, studying and revision and stuff. But the thing is, EA Play is on the 10th of June, and I was actually really thinking about, like, considering going. It's in California, but I was really thinking about going this time. But now I literally cannot, because it's during my exams, and I have an exam on the 11th, which is the day after, so it wouldn't really work unless I go there on the, because my last exam before the 10th is the 8th, so I could maybe fly out, if this was going to work, then maybe fly out on the 9th or something, and then I have to come back on the day of it finishing, which is probably going to be a little bit of a time crunch, and I don't really think it's a good idea, especially if it's, you know, during exam time, coming straight back home from a plane into an exam, you know. But the thing is, it is just a provisional timetable, so it might change. I never know. We'll just have to see how things plan out. So we're working on some more bedrooms here. As you can see, this is pretty much all we do for the rest of the video. We've got, like, we're at the minute mark? We're about the 13.5 minute mark now. The video portion of it ends just after the 20-minute mark, and then the rest of the video is screenshots, because it is a pretty big lot. As you can see, it's a 64 by 64, and there's a lot of, you know, 3 floors, so there's a lot of screenshots. I don't actually know how many screenshots I did get though. I'm actually going to go ahead and count right now and see, because actually, well, another thing as well, I've been using the reshade mod, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. Hang on, let me just count 1 second. I've got 29 screenshots, which is actually not that much compared to what I've done before, but it is still quite a lot. So yeah, anyway, like I was just mentioning about the reshade mod, I did actually get it a few, like maybe a week and a few days ago now. It is such an improvement to the game. You know, you kind of don't realise what the game actually looks like until you install this. I mean, I've been using the game how it is in terms of its lighting for as long as I've had the game for, but this just totally changes it, and it kind of makes you think how dull the game looks. Now, I mean, I'm not too bothered about it because I've been using it for such a long time. It hasn't really, you know, something I've been thinking about, but since I've installed the reshade mod, it's just so much brighter and just so much colourful and vibrant and everything. So yeah, I'm so glad I got this actually. So you would have seen in the past week or so in terms of videos how it is so different in terms of how it looks visually. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I'm actually using Harry's Light Brigade preset. I couldn't think of the word there for a second, and that's what I'm using so far. I am really liking it, but I'm actually kind of thinking about maybe changing the settings up a slight little bit, because it is a tad too bright for my liking, I think, because sometimes, depending on where I'm looking, it can look a little bit washed out, and especially the UI, it can look a little bit too bright sometimes. It actually depends on kind of what's, because it is a little bit opaque, so you can kind of see the build or whatever it is, the game behind the UI, on the bottom at least. So depending if it's like a white background that my game's on, if it's like, a white wallpaper or something, then it would look even more washed out, but it just depends really. I haven't really had that much severe problems, it's just something I've noticed, so I might look into trying changing the settings down so the brightness just goes down a tiny little bit, but I don't even know how to do that, so I'm going to have to mess around with the settings a little bit, or maybe I'll even make my own preset, which I'll probably do at some point, but let me know if you want to see my own preset. I don't know what it would be like. It'd probably be kind of saturated like it is now, and probably a little bit less bright than this, and that's probably how I'll do it, but there's lots and lots and lots of presets out. So Harry's got some, Fantasia, Stephen from Spring Sims, and also Jen's got some as well. And yeah, so speaking of Jen, we actually have been talking about doing another collab, which I've mentioned before. But we are going to hopefully be doing one next month, and also the same with Dr. Ashley as well, and be doing a build collab with her. And I've also just, if this goes up on the 25th, then yesterday I did one with Chloe Sims, which is another amazing builder here in the community. And yeah, so did I use... No, the funny thing is that I actually used the Bowling Knight Stuff Stone on the exterior of this build, and because Chloe doesn't have the Vampire game pack, every time I go to put the Vampire Stone down, I always think, oh no, Chloe doesn't have this. I don't know if she's going to go ahead and download my lots or not, but that thought always comes into my head when I go down and place those Vampire bricks, so... Yeah, but I was going to go ahead and use those, but I used them so much, I thought I'll go ahead and use the stone from from the Pool Night Stuff pack this time, because I haven't actually used that in quite some time actually, so I just thought it'd be nice to kind of switch things up a little bit, I suppose. So yeah, there was something else I was just about to mention, it's totally gone out of my head. Oh my god, what was it? It was something about, like, in-game objects or something, I think. Nope, it's totally gone. But something else, like, it might come back to me. Anyway, another thing is that this actually started, like, Wednesday last week, I think it was, doing the exterior and stuff. The exterior never really takes me that long. It's only the interior. And because it takes so long, I always kind of procrastinate and, like, put it off. So it got to, like, Friday night, and I realised I hadn't even started the interior, which kind of just made me panic, which actually happens a lot with these mansion builds that I do every week. I do like to start them earlier in the week, so I'm not too stressed, because I do these every single week, and I've done them for so long now, I wouldn't like to miss a week, because I just I just don't have the time for it, so I just try to avoid excuses and just get on with it. So I was up like last night, and the clocks changed as well last night for us in the UK as well, but I think I started around 9 PM and I finished it it only took me about... Yeah, I think I just spent like an hour last night doing it, but I did get a lot done. I got all the second floor done in less than an hour, and then this morning as well, I spent a little bit of time doing the third floor too. So yeah, I kind of just split it off, into a few days, and I managed to get it done. I was a little bit stressed because it is currently 12:05 PM here, and this is going up at 6:30. So I've only got 6 hours to render and upload this and do the thumbnail. Now you probably think that's loads of time, but for me, a 20-odd minute video like this would take probably about 3 hours to render, which is pretty crazy, but that is always the case with these mansion builds and stuff, or just big video files that always take so long to render. And it's so annoying because my computer just isn't that great anymore. It's getting a little bit slow, so it always takes so long to render, which is really irritating. And the other thing is that when I'm rendering a video, I can't really do anything else on my PC in terms of recording videos, because the recording file would turn out to be absolutely crazy laggy, so I couldn't do that. But I've actually got to record a video for tomorrow as well. Oh my god, I've got so much to do. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow, to be honest. I'm going to have to think. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't think what I've got planned for tomorrow. Anyway, so I am actually, speaking of that, I am starting to run out of video ideas. I'm actually going to get my video schedule up now just to see. But, like, I always think that, oh my god, I don't have a video plan for next week, I've run out of video ideas, but then the day comes and I'm like, oh, I've got an idea now. So it's never really a run out of ideas, but I'm always kind of very limited in terms of ideas, if that makes sense. So if you ever have any kind of sort of, you know, just build ideas or anything in general you want to see, then please let me know. I'm always open for suggestions, and I'll just add it to my video ideas list, and I'll just go back and see which ones I want to do. So tomorrow I actually have planned a CC shopping video. Oh, this is actually kind of funny. Wait, well, I'll mention the funny bit in a second, but it's not funny. It was just kind of like odd. Anyway, so I'm all over the place today. It's actually a build mode CC shopping video that I got planned for tomorrow, which I've still got to record. And we are just about to go head into the screenshots in just a second, but I'll keep talking. Anyway, so yeah, tomorrow I have planned a build mode CC shopping trip, because I actually did the CC video with Chloe yesterday. She did a CC build and I did a no CC. We did kind of like a no CC versus CC build challenge. And oh my god, I don't know how many times I've said CC in the last 20 seconds. Anyway, I'm talking too fast as well. So I am planning on doing a CC build, not just because this collab gave me an idea to do one, but also my friend Stephen from Spring Sims said it might be nice to see kind of like a CC build as well when we were talking on Discord the other day. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that next Saturday, so stay tuned for that. I mean, that's only very initial thoughts. I don't know if it's definitely going to go ahead or not, but, you know, we'll see. So, let me know what you think of this build in the comment section down below, as we are at the end of the video now. I'm going to leave you here with some screenshots. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and go ahead and download this from the Sims 4 gallery. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!